And welcome to the Brent Gove podcast. We are glad you're here. Today I have an amazing guest. She is a absolute mega superstar throughout the nation. Her name is Sherri Johnson, and her background is vast. It's big, it's exciting, and you're going to love this. She's just an incredible human being, one of the top trainers, educators, and she's very inspiring. So, Sherri Johnson, welcome to the Brent Gove podcast. We're glad to have you on.
Oh, thank you, Brent. The pleasure is mine. I'm excited to be with you, partner with you, have this conversation, and help agents through your amazing network. So yes,
I love it. You're like Mel Robbins' little sister or something here. I like it. You're cool.
my classes.
All right. Hey, so let's just dive into it. Would you give the 50,000 foot Cliff Note version of who is Sherri Johnson? Where did you grow up? How'd you end up in real estate? And what does your career look like? Give us the little snapshots here. Highlights.
Yes.
And brag a little. I want you to brag a little so people know why they should listen to you.
Well, very humbly, I grew up in Cleveland, Ohio, which is where I've been born and raised. I still live here today. I am a single mom of two amazing kids. My daughter's 21, my son is 18. I grew up in a commercial printing industry, family business, and that my parents started, on their own with $500. Neither of them went to college. So I had work ethic instilled in me. I dated a builder's son who built my parents' house, and I dated him for a while. And his dad would tell me, kid, you got to get your license. And I would think, that's crazy. I'm never selling real estate. I'm in a printing company. And then my parents sold their company. I was actually in consulting for a couple of years before I got my license. I got my license in 1996. So I'm actually about to start my 30th year, which
same year as I got mine in 96. I know we had that in common. That was the year I got my license.
Oh, yeah, that's awesome. And so I got my license. My dad told me you might not sell a house for 6 months. You might want to get another job. And I was like, I had a condo payment, a car payment, a really high shopping.
I don't think so, right?
I was 26 years old, and I was like, if I don't sell a house, like, I'm not doing this. This will be a colossal epic fail. I'll have to do something else. And so I had 5 sales my first month. And I'm only telling you this because it was do or die. I was not asking him for money. He wouldn't have given it to me anyway. And here's what happened. The reason I tell this story is that it launched my coaching idea, because I had always been a trainer and a coach in the corporate world as a consultant. And I was on TV in college for the news, and I just loved speaking and all the things. But when I had 5 sales in that first month, one of them, Brent, came from a sphere of influence. A friend of mine from second grade named Tim Kren. Thank you, Tim, for buying a condo from me. Thank God. And then the other 4, and you're going to love this story because I know you love listings. The other 4 came from my first listing. I sold it myself at the open house, 2 sales. Those people had a house to sell. I listed and sold that in a week. And then I picked up a buyer and he bought that same month. So 4 properties, 4 sales under contract in my first month on this first listing I ever had. And I said, wow, this is how you do real estate. You list one house and you leverage that house to sell more houses from it, which then birthed.
Just so everybody knows, in 1996, the market was dead. We were in the middle of a recession, and all the homes were boarded up. I showed homes with mag flashlights. So this is impressive. And Tony Robbins says high energy equals high results. And Sherri is a high energy person. People were drawn to her. Bam, 5 sales in a month. Keep going. I interrupted you.
And then I built the business. I did, I think I had 27 sales my first year, which in 1996, we still had MLS books at the time. But I will tell you that, I didn't buy leads. I didn't have some crazy sphere. Like, I just went out and I worked open houses, which I know you did. I made 50 grand at an open house, which then, that became one of my signature courses and strategies that agents around the country and world love, because they make 50 to 100 grand at one open house if you do it right. So I built the business. That year, I said, I want to be a national speaker, coach, and consultant one day. And I was 27. And I just finished my first year in real estate. I actually, it was an amazing thought. Our company was purchased by Howard Hanna Real Estate. I said, I want to be a manager with you. I figured if I was going to be a consultant, I would have to have a track record. So I managed offices with 75 to 100 agents, 150 agents, turned those offices around from unprofitable to wildly profitable. And then I had 800 agents at the end of my executive career at Howard Hanna in Cleveland, and took it from 500 million to $2 billion in sales volume, working a
Not
system
bad. Not bad.
that I built called the Goldmine Pipeline, which is a lead generation strategy and mindset shift that will take an agent's business to double or triple. I did that with the 750, whoever would do it, right? And so we had a great run. I was at that company 22 years, and 8 years ago, I literally jumped off the cliff, single mom, financially responsible for my kids, 100%. I wouldn't have it any other way. But I built the wings on the way down, and I said, I'm going to be a national speaker. And I was able to land a couple of big accounts, one of which was Homes.com, hired me to be their national speaker for about 2.5 years before COVID. And then I was able to land some really big brands and be their coaching, their preferred coach. Now, I'm sitting with, people like Brian Buffini, and I'm like, this is unbelievable. And I went through airports just crying tears of joy that I got to, I met Brian Moses, who said to me, you're going to kill this kid. And I was like, are you sure? We're the Delta Sky Club together. I'm telling you, it was the best. And I kind of have that feeling again now, in the last 8 months since I made a major decision. We'll talk about that in a few minutes, but that's my career in a nutshell. I was, when I was an agent, I built up to about 75 transactions as a solo agent. I was in the top 50 of our company, and then the top 25, and we had about 3,000 agents. And so my goal was to be in the top 25, and I did it. And I was like, okay, next, what am I gonna, where do I go? And I've always loved coaching and training agents. So when I could throw myself into, helping new agents, brand new agents sell 15 to 20 or 30 houses their first year, that just drove me, and it ignited a passion to just give that and give what was given to me, which was somehow the tenacity and drive to win, and to coach people. So it was a great run. I tried to start a team, and I would add people, and then it wouldn't work. And I just said, you know what? I'm better at coaching people on their teams. And my team became, when I became a manager, I went from selling 6 to 8 houses a month to selling 50 to 70 houses a month with my team. And then when I was at that big office in Westlake, Ohio, with 150 agents, we would sell, 300 houses a month. And I considered those deals mine. You know what I mean? The agents did that, but that was my sales team. So to sell 10,000 houses in the west side of Cleveland for a few, 5, 6, 7 years as a regional VP, that was pretty fun. So it's been a blast. And today I still get in front of, I refer a bunch of business. I'm very active. I don't put a sign in the yard with my name, but the coaching has been just a phenomenal experience to do for the last 8 years.
That's great. I love it. So this rolls perfectly into my first real question for you is this. What have you noticed? I mean, you're talking about hundreds, actually thousands of agents you've coached, worked with over the past almost 30 years for both of us. We're at year 29. But question is, what have you noticed between the ones who make it and the ones who don't? Like, what is that defining characteristic? People get in, what causes them just to take off like a bottle rocket? Have you noticed? I don't know. I'm just asking.
Yeah, no, I think I think that's a really great question, because I think the people we've been blessed to coach, have increased significantly their sales. I think we take motivated people and get them accelerated results where they want to go. But the difference between a successful agent who and one who's not, and there are a lot, unfortunately, that are not, is I think it comes down to hunger and their own drive and motivation. Do they want to do this part-time? Do they want to do this as a hobby? Do they look at real estate as they're the CEO of their business and they're running a business and they have the drive to do it? So I've always met a bunch of agents who, they say, I want to do this, but when it comes right down to it, it's massive action. If people don't put the action into this, there's nothing else I can do. Like, you've learned the strategies, it's time to do it. And so I think what happens, Brent, is people spend a lot of time getting ready to get ready. And they're like, oh, I don't know if that'll work. And I don't know if this, I'm not sure. And I don't want to be, I'm not, I don't want, you are providing value added service to people at the highest level, whatever brand you're at. And if you believe that you are the best, then you need to go out there and have this like, I will until it's not over until I have X number of listing appointments on my calendar every week. My job's not done. So you can sit around and wait for the business. That's one way to do this business. It's not going to be fruitful. It's not going to be profitable. Or you can say, I'm going to make it happen because of the actions I take. So having a plan and saying, I'm going to execute at a 10x level is what gets results. Anything else after that is just people are interested, but not committed.
Yeah. Are you interested? Are you committed? Hunger. Do you want it? And having a plan, and I will until. So sometimes the plan I have, it's not keep going, push it. Don't leave it 4. Stay at your open house till 5. Stay at your open house till 6. Push yourself. I will until. That's great. I've heard that before, but I haven't heard it in years. Super good. Okay, let me switch gears on you. You're talking to a brand new agent. They get into real estate. What's your advice for them? How can they, what can they do to just sell 5 homes out the gate? Like what, bring yourself back then. What advice do you have for them? Real quick. We got like 2 minutes.
I'd say you need to say, like, go get a listing, right? If you get one listing, you'll have buyers, you'll have an open house that you can sit. My goal with new agents is you have to have a listing or a sale or both in the first 30 days. Let's
Period.
not say, yeah, there's no question. Like, why trainers and companies out there say, well, this is going to take time. You got to go through training first. No, these people need income, and income produces more energy, and more energy is success is contagious. So get a listing, do whatever it takes to get your first listing. 2 weeks, set a goal. I'm going to get a listing right now. I'm going to call every single person I know. Once you have that sign in the yard, you have something to now, get other business from. And so don't stop until you get it. Like, make a plan. Go to your 50, 60, 100 people you know. Tell every single person you know and people that you meet on the street that you're in real estate and you add value and you can help people. It comes down to just, you're either going to take initial action. And my goal, my pipeline for a brand new agent is remarkable. So download it off of my website at sherrijohnson.com. You can just go right there, hit download the ebook and the form, and it'll teach you what to do. It's obviously better if you're coached on it, but that one form will change your life as a new agent. You have to get a listing. You have to talk real estate every single place you go. Say it wherever you are. The easiest way to talk to anybody is say, hey, where do you live? And they're going to tell you, say, what street do you live on? Oh, don't think I'm weird. I sell houses. Which house are you in? Right. And the next thing you know, you're like, oh, I love that house. I showed that house. You bought that, a couple years ago. Or if you're a brand new agent, you say, where do you live? Are you thinking about moving? I sell houses. Like, say it and it'll happen. People will be attracted to you. You just have to say it and go do it. There's a listing or a sale in the first 30 days. That's my best advice. And
I love it. I love it.
Build a pipeline.
When I was brand new, I was getting my hair cut, and the gal was doing it. I said, hey, you don't know anyone who wants to buy or sell real estate. Do you have a goal this month to sell 3 homes? And I wish I had 5 like you, but I said, I remember saying 3. No, I don't know anyone. I go, let me ask you a question. I made it up on the spot. You're new, right? You don't know what you're doing. I go, where's your favorite restaurant that you've never eaten at, that you want to go to, but you can't afford? It's just Ruth Chris Steakhouse. She did not miss a beat. She was up, always wanted to go there. It's expensive. Ruth Chris, it's like Eddie V's or Fleming.
Yeah, I love Ruth Chris.
Astros, Ocean Club. And there's people who want to go to places like that. They've never been, and they're just like, it's not in the budget, right? They're still going to Taco Bell for the discounted taco. We've all been there, right? And so I said, tell you what, if you help me find a buyer that will buy or a seller that will sell, I'm really looking for listings, I will give you a $300 gift card to Ruth Chris. Guess who called me like that with her next door neighbor? And it was me. The neighbor calls me and says, you don't know me. I'm Nancy so-and-so. Man, Jill couldn't stop talking about you. I don't know what you did, but you're amazing. Come list my house. And it was $500,000. I made 15 grand. Who would pay $300?
Of course.
15 grand. And so instead of that radio station, WFM, what's in it for me? Instead of asking referral, I said, hey, I'm going to like feeding the killer whales at SeaWorld. They give them a little anchovy. I gave her $300. She was elated. She became my salesperson, my raving fan.
Love it.
And I didn't have to pay her until I got it. And I learned
Right.
from Brian Buffini when I was brand new, of course. And he said, even if you don't get it, let's say we're there and she changed her mind, listed with Global Banker, still give her a $25 gift card for pizza to Old Town Pizza. It's like, but you didn't get it. I know, but I just want to show you how great.
No.
I've done that. And that person gave me 5 referrals because of a $25 pizza. They're like, but you didn't get it. I know, but I just want to share. I'm so grateful. Oh man. And he gave me a free pizza and they told everyone I got all these listings. So those, okay, second question. We got to
That's
keep
awesome.
moving.
Go.
Oh, you'd like that. You get
So good.
scrappy. We're new. You're scrappy, create stuff, invent stuff.
Love
Okay,
it.
what would you say, Coach Sherri, to a maybe a veteran? Maybe they've been in 3 years, 13 years, 33 years, but they're stuck right now. They're like, man, I can't believe this. First time in my career, I don't have anything in escrow, and I just feel stuck, like I'm walking through a swamp, a quagmire, a bog. I don't see my way clearly. How do I get unstuck in this market? It's August 2025. Interest rates are here. They haven't fallen yet. We all know they're going to go down. But for like, what do I do right now? Put the paddles on them, Sherri. What do you advise them to do to get going?
Well, the first thing is that most agents are only counting the 2 or 3 people that they're spending any time with as good leads. So I want you to realize if you've been in the business a while, you have an entire database of past clients who are really your clients. They're not past, they're clients. It's the client list. You can actually build a pipeline of people if you stop looking at their timeline as holding you back. So most agents are like, well, I have 2 people that want to do something right now. So they give all their time and attention to those 2 to 3 people. If they buy, then it's like a roller coaster. I sell a house, I don't sell a house. I gotta, I come up for air, I have nothing, I have to start over. So part of your stuckness is that you look at leads as if they don't want to buy right now is not good. And so what I'm going to suggest to you is you have in 15 minutes, we are able to find $15 million of potential business in your own database, in your phone, on open house registration sheets. Scour your emails, go through your list of referrals and people you know and all the conversations you've had. Instead of saying who wants to buy right now, say who wants to buy or sell, or who would potentially buy or sell in the next 2 months to 2 years. That is a much bigger list. And then the second step of that is to write their names down, whether they're going to buy and sell. You download my ebook, you download the Goldmine Pipeline. And what this does is it's going to monetize the value of that entire database. So if you have a $500,000 average sale price and 10 people, if I said, between 2 months and 2 years, I'm sure you could come up with 10 people. They're all going to buy and they're going to list with you. They have 10, you have 10 people to sell. You have 10 now buyers. That's 20 people at 500,000. What kind of volume is that? It's 10 million bucks. You all of a sudden in 10 minutes realize you have a $10 million pipeline that you're sitting on. Now your job is to nurture those people. And I'm going to suggest you probably, if you got 10 and you got either you watch Brent's YouTube videos on how to sell more houses, you watch my YouTube, you can go find content. You will find that you actually probably could get to 20 listing leads and 20 buyer leads, which is now a $20 million pipeline, just like that. $500,000 average sale price with 40 potential leads. It's $20 million. You're going to feel like the rock star that you have been before. You're going to get a new energy. I see this all the time. Agents are like, I had all this, I didn't even realize it. And here's what they say. You ever miss a lead? You ever not follow up with somebody and then you didn't think they were serious and then you saw the sign in their yard? It's horrible. Like you're like, oh, those people weren't serious and I missed that opportunity. So I have this phrase that no one likes and I hate it too, but it's the truth. Opportunities aren't lost. They go to someone else. So when you think that these leads are not good because they don't want to do something today, someone who's 6 months out, 6 months to a year out, they're going to buy or sell with you. Stay with them. My book is called The Long Game for a reason. We're going to play the long game. You need business 12 months from now. Keep those people on the list. Give them high value. Stay in touch with them. And guess what, Brent? If you're that agent, you're going to be the one that they choose when the time is right. So stop throwing, coaches out there say if you get ghosted 3 times, get rid of those leads. That's not my philosophy at all. It takes 80% of the sales take 5 contacts. So keep the people, meet them where they are, add tremendous value, educational value, pour into them. Say, I'm ready when you are. I'm not going anywhere. I'm here when you're ready. I just wanted to check in. I'd like to come and see your house now because I can help you and save you time and money before I put the sign in the yard in 6 months. You get
Yeah.
that first appointment, 82% of the time, the seller's going to choose the first person that they brought into the house. So if you're stuck right now, you are sitting on a gold mine. That's why I named it gold mine pipeline, because you're literally unaware of how much potential business you have. Now, if it's 10 million, that's $300,000 in GCI, right? If it's 20 million, that's a $600,000 GCI you're sitting on. You're probably closed. We know the numbers. We've mastered this. You close 85% of what's on that pipeline in the next 11 to 12 months. You're a rock star. You can do this. You already have the business. This will give you that, it'll get you out of a slump. It will give you the motivation and excitement because you're going to say, I am a rock star, Brent. I have this on paper. And that is what differentiates that one conversation. I see people double their business and they go, oh my gosh, I didn't count those people. Because you know what they say to me? They're not solid. They're not doing anything right now. Stop discounting the people who are 6 months out. Those are your best leads because you will always have consistent and predictable income every month. If you look at it this way, instead of being like, oh, they're not ready. All those not ready people, you missed them and they went on to somebody else. And that is an actual factual truth. So
I believe it. By the way, I asked ChatGPT what the average price was in America. It's 516,000 a house. You said 5, you're right in there. And she also talked about 10 who are gonna clients in the pipeline who will buy and sell, which is really 20. And that's $10 million worth of business. And I did the math in my head. It's $250,000 net to you. And then you made another comment that if you really work it and you get to $20 million pipeline, that it's actually $500,000. So it's either $250,000 or $500,000. How did you say you go from 10 million to 20 million? Real quick, I got like 30 seconds for that.
Oh, because 10 to 12. So I have 10 people on the pipeline for buyers and listings. It's 20 people. That's 10 million at 500. If you double that and you have 20 listing leads and 20 buyer leads, that's now 40 potential sales times 500,000 is 20 million. That's half.
There you go. Okay, so there's your $500,000. It's actually 600,000, but
600.
I'm removing expenses, marketing,
Correct.
assistance. So I brought down the nets of $250,000, $500,000. I mean, how many people you know that make $250,000 a year, $500,000 a year? So it's worth some effort. Final question, actually 2 final questions, but the final question on this trend was, number 1, I asked you, what would you recommend to a brand new agent to get going? Number 2, what do you do with an agent who's stuck? Number 3, and I only got about a minute for this, what do you recommend to a star who's killing it? They're selling 60, 70 homes a year right now, 80 homes a year right now. They're Sherri Johnson, roll back the clock, 20 years ago, right? 25. I was there too, I get some gray coming in. You look beautiful, by the way. You look like a 38-year-old. But but here's the deal. What do you say to the star? Like what? Because there's always the way to go high level, go next level. What do you say to the superstar? They're killing it. What advice do you have for them? Because they always still need to sharpen the knife.
Well, I think if you're running a team and it's not profitable, you need to really reimagine and look at that. If it's not profitable, a lot of teams are not profitable, and some are very profitable. The number one thing I would suggest if you are at the top of your game and you're like, I am, where do I go from here, is to look at revenue share as a business. And to me, that model exists only at one place. And to me, that is the biggest single opportunity that you have. If you want to continue selling, great. But if you look at your relationship equity over the last 15 years, 10 years, how long you've been doing this, between 5 to 30 years in the business, you need to investigate what it looks like to have a revenue share business where you can literally sell houses and also make additional revenue streams that don't exist possibly where you are today. So that's my best advice to give to someone who's doing high volume and is grinding it out like you and I did. I mean,
there's got to be the next. There's got to be something beyond this.
Oh, yes.
And it's not by a franchise. It's not by a region, because that's like buying Blockbusters and yellow
Walmart.
cab and
Walmart.
record stores. Well, those things are going down, not up. So cloud base is where it's at. So my final question for you is, Sherri, you're so talented. Anybody, Remax would want you, Compass would want you. Howard Hunt, and anybody, they would want you. Why EXP? Because that was the big change you choose after all these years. You switched to EXP 4, 5, 6, 7 months ago, 8 months ago, whatever it is. Why? Why would someone like you, Mel Robbins Jr., let them? Why EXP? Like, I don't think people really get it. Like, aren't they just a recruiting company? Like, what did you do your homework? Like, what did you learn about EXP? Why'd you choose EXP?
Well, yes, I did. I was probably I want to say unrecruitable, but I loved where I was as an agent. I mean, everyone should love where you are when you're at that place. I did give them a lot of money, and I saw value in what I got at that time. I chose this after 3 good solid years of research and
Wow.
investigation,
three
and
years of checking out EXP. You're a tough cookie.
3 years. And here's what I know. I couldn't unsee it. I know Jay Kinder says this, and he may have quoted that, and I couldn't unsee it. And I looked at the what it gave an agent and the pillars of, stock equity, which does not exist anywhere. You actually get stock to sell houses that when you sell them everywhere else, you don't get stock. It just doesn't exist. Number two, the compensation plan for an agent this is the most agent centric brokerage on the planet. And
Yeah, hold on real quick though. You blew by number one. I just want to make sure people get what you said. I mean, you didn't, but I think some people could miss it. You're going to sell homes wherever you go. At EXP, when you sell your first home, you get stock. When you cap and go to 100% split, you get stock. If you do about 25 to 28 sales a year, you get a big chunk of stock, which for me, you can't cash it for 3 years. But when I did cash it in 3 years, it was worth over $400,000, that chunk. And so I got 51 stock awards my first year, not my first 5 years, my first year. You're getting a ton of stock awards. And so it doesn't, when she says it doesn't exist anywhere else, they just say, hey, good job on the sales. How much stock do I get in Coldwell Banker? None. How much stock do I get in, Better Homes, or Berkshire Hathaway or Sotheby's? And so, not to name names, but they give you this. They give you glass trophies, and look, that one says EXP too, right? Top team, you're going to get those here too, but
I
we
love
also give you the stock. Okay, go on to number two. I just want to make sure we didn't blow by
So
that.
yeah,
Real
and
quick.
the stock is real. And when people say, well, it's not the stock, it does, you are not getting it now anywhere. Like it doesn't, it's amazing. You get it for
Yeah,
being a good human being here,
they
and
give it to you. Yeah.
it's a gift, and it's
We got
amazing.
a couple minutes left. We got to
Number
wrap up,
two,
but
I would
yeah.
say, yeah, the agent split compensation is the best, and it's for everyone. Everyone's on the same split, which I find that
Which
is
is what?
80/20,
Come
and
on, baby.
yeah,
Not 50-50, not 60-40,
no,
not 70-30.
and
And a
you
lot
just
of people, they say I'm on an 80-20, but they forget about the 6% of the franchise. You're really on a 74-26. And they're taking 26% of every check you get.
right.
These are big checks these days.
They also, what I will tell you is that you have a forever split if you don't cap. And so I always say, well, okay, everyone's like, I'm at 85. I'm like, yeah, but you're always giving 15% to your company. That goes on forever. It doesn't have to. And they do the math and they realize this is insane. So I believe that we have the best model on so many levels. The second being that the compensation arrangement is the most agent centric to put more money in your pocket. You cap at 16,000 in. And by the way, you go to 100% for the rest of the year. And then you sell at an icon level and you get that $16,000 given back to you in stock. I think that is an absolute, like, right there is enough reason to
Take
join
your
there.
cost basis to zero.
Yeah,
Pays.
you basically work here, we pay you to work here. And so you need to look at it. The math matters, and the value of everything you get here. So we get about $3,000 worth of goods and goods and services for $85 a month on a monthly fee. You can't get that on the street anywhere. I don't care who you are. You at our scale, you get the top line tech and value stack. It's unmatched. We have a competitive advantage, fastest growing real estate company on the planet. I love it. The third reason, obviously, is having a revenue share that is not linear, getting paid for your time for exchange of money. It's not leverage, trying to build something and you're working 20,000 hours a week. I mean, my goodness, do this, pour yourself into the welfare of other human beings and help them grow. I think, that's the phrase is like, if you want to get where you want to go, take other people. To me, this fit me and my passion for helping people change their lives. And so you can build legacy, financial freedom like nothing I've ever seen, and give that to more people. And to me, that was the part that giving it, literally paying it forward and saying, I need to go help and change the lives again at a different level than coaching, but in your brokerage. And you can partner with me. We're partners. There's no levels of,
co-sponsor with
leadership.
you. They can co-sponsor with you.
Absolutely. Yes. And the nice thing we have at Sherri Johnson Coaching is an entire multi-million level coaching platform that everyone gets $20,000 to $40,000 worth of coaching as part of your partnership with us. So co-sponsoring, absolutely. I have a number of EXP agents that we're co-sponsoring together, and as well as just if you're out there and you think, like what I thought this was nothing what I thought it was, Brent. And it wasn't until I met you and I met Gene Frederick. And, I knew the big guys like Al Stasek, and I knew that something here was happening and it wasn't stopping. And the momentum, the collaboration without competition has to be noted, because everywhere else it is a competitive, cutthroat feeling. Not here. This is a place where one wins, we all win. And it's agents helping agents. I've never seen the collaboration like this in 30 years. It's amazing. Amazing.
I love it. So
excited.
I can feel it. So
I haven't been this excited since I don't even know when. Like,
I know, me either. I came here, it's great. So 3 things. Number 1, you mentioned the splits. Some people are listening, like, I'm on a 90-10. I'm not at a franchise. I don't pay the 6% back to Coldwell Banker or Sotheby's or Christie's or Compass or wherever it's going. I'm on an actual 90-10. I had a guy do this the other day, but he was successful. I go, and he sells a lot of real estate. I go, did you ever add up what the 10% is? He goes, no, but 90-10 is unmatched industry. You guys yourself are on 80-20. I go, yeah, but we cap. So you cap the first month. Typically, you would cap the first month because you're high sales. You're at 100% the next 11 months. I go, figure out what the 10% is. He did. It was 120,000 a year he's paying his broker on a 90-10 without franchise fee. It would have been worse with the franchise fee. It would have been way worse, like a 200,000 a year. It was 120. Our cap is 16. So he's got a better deal on a 90-10. It's a way worse deal than the 90-10. 95-5 would have been a way worse deal at the volume he sold at. 120. I go, our cap is 16. That means you instead of paying, you could pay 120 like you are, or 16, which means you save $104,000 a year. How about you take 52,000 of that and take your family on a dream vacation of a lifetime every year, like the most crazy vacation you could think of. Take the other 52,000, put it into a marketing budget to dominate the promontory or Briggs Ranch or whatever special farm niche you want. If I gave you another $52,000 to postcard and own that farm, then you get these 3, 4, 5, 10, $15 million listings. What does that do to your income? And you're just not, it's not about even the 80-20 or the 90-10. It's about the bottom line. Number 2, you talked about revenue share, but we really didn't explain it. Nor do we have time. You can watch something called themodelexplained.com and go to step 3. Step 3 explains the revenue share. Look for step 3, click on it. Step 3, themodelexplained.com. Step 1, 2, and 3. They're all great, but step 3 gets right down to the revenue share. A lot of people miss it because step 3, I think, is the most important thing. It's what attracted me. But by my 4th month at EXP, my revenue share, the company's sharing revenues with me. I was at Remax for 11 years. They never shared a dime of the revenue. I was at Keller Williams for almost 10 years. They didn't share a dime of the revenue. Profit share, yes, but revenue share, no. Revenue's way better than profit. Profit's a little bitty part that you get down after everything. Revenue's on top line. You want a piece of the top line, not a piece of like, well, we did 100 million in sales, but we spent 101 million. That means there's no profit. You get a percentage of nothing. So by my fourth month, it was 27,000 a month. I mean, that is life changing. And it kind of, but was that a one-time deal? No, I didn't continue to get that. It kind of went to 28, then 30, then 32, then 34,000 a month for the balance of the year. I made $286,000 in revenue share my first year outside of sales. And then the next year, let's just say it doubled, tripled, and quadrupled. The second year, it was over $1 million. And I go, why am I doing real estate? What if I do that part-time? What if I focus? Watch step 3 of the model explained.com. It's online. And then call Sherri Johnson. If you have questions, call Sherri. Sherri, how do they get a hold of you if they watch step 3 of the model explained? And you're welcome to watch step 1 and 2, but you might as well just cut right to step 3. But how do they reach you?
If you're already at EXP and you want to co-sponsor with me, or you are an agent looking at other brokerages and you are intelligently going to look at this cloud-based business that will absolutely change your life on so many levels, go to sherrijohnson.com, SHERRI Johnson.com, book a strategy call with me. In fact, I would welcome anyone listening to this podcast to book a free coaching strategy call with me. We'll talk about your business. We'll talk about EXP. We'll talk about whatever you want. Just make the call. I will do that call with you. And I promise you that the more you investigate this model, the more you're going to say, this is the greatest thing that's ever happened to real estate and personally to yourself. And you owe it to yourself, by the way, to do the math, because every conversation I have, I'm doing that math on a 90-10 and they're going, I had no idea, because your franchise fee isn't built into that. You're giving 17%, sometimes 16%. You have to do the math. I'll help you do the math. If you need that, we'll show you how to do it. But the bottom line is book the call with me. I'll help you. I'll give you free coaching. I'll give you free tips. We'll get you set up. We'll show you the Goldmine pipeline, and we can give you that for free. That's also on the website if you want to download that. Book a call. I'll help you. Brent's here to help you. I've never seen anybody more giving than this gentleman, this amazing leader.
SherriJohnson.com, and it's SHERRI, Sherri Johnson with an ON, not an EN.com. Go book that strategy call. Sherri, thanks for being on. You're amazing, and you thank you for what you shared. Have an awesome day. We love you, and we'll see you in Miami at
I'm going to see you in
annual
Miami.
convention. Cannot wait. We'll see you there.
Thanks, Brent. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye.